AI's future hangs in the balance with California law. Here's everything you need to know about California's new artificial intelligence bill and the fight to speed up or slow down AI that's spilling into politics. A California bill that attempts to regulate large frontier AI models is creating a dramatic standoff over the future of AI. For years, AI has been divided into accel and decel. The accels want AI to progress rapidly, move fast, and break things, while the decels want AI development to slow down for the sake of humanity. The battle veered into the national spotlight when OpenAI's board briefly ousted Sam Altman, many of whom have since split off from the startup in the name of AI safety, and now a California bill is making this fight political. What is SB 1047? SB 1047 is a California state bill that would make large AI model providers such as Meta, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Mistral liable for the potentially catastrophic dangers of their AI systems. The bill, authored by State Senator Scott Weiner, passed through California's Senate in May and cleared another major hurdle towards becoming law this week. Why should I care? Well, it could become the first real AI regulation in the United States with any teeth, and it's happening in California, where all the major AI companies are. And Weiner described the bill as setting clear, predictable, common sense safety standards for developers of the largest and most powerful AI systems. Not everyone sees it that way, though. Many in Silicon Valley are raising alarm bells that this law will kill the AI era before it even starts. And what does SB 1047 actually do? SB 1047 makes AI model providers liable for any criminal harm, specifically calling out their role in creating mass casualty events, quote unquote. As outlandish as this may seem, that's big because Silicon Valley has historically evaded most responsibility for its harms. The bill empowers California's Attorney General to take legal action against these companies if one of their AI models causes severe harms to Californians. SB 1047 also includes a shutdown provision, which effectively requires AI companies to create a kill switch for an AI model in the event of an emergency. The bill also creates a Frontier Model Division within California's Government Operations Agency, and that group would provide guidance to these frontier AI model providers on safety standards that each company would have to comply with. If businesses don't consider the division's recommendations, they could be sued and face civil penalties. Who supports this bill? Besides Senator Weiner, two prominent AI researchers who are sometimes called the godfathers of AI, Geoffrey Hinton and Joshua Bengio, put their names on the bill. These two have been very prominent in issuing warning calls about AI's dangers. More broadly, this bill falls in line with the decel perspective, which believes AI has a relatively high probability of ending humanity and should be regulated as such. And most of these people are AI researchers and not actively trying to commoditize the AI product, since, they think it might end humanity. And this bill is sponsored by the Creator for AI Safety, which is led by Dan Hendricks. And his group published an open letter in May 2023 saying AI's risk for human extinction should be taken as seriously as nuclear wars or pandemics. It was signed by Sam Altman, Bill Gates, Grimes, and plenty of influential tech people. They're an influential group and a key player in promoting this bill. In March 2023, decels called for a pause on all AI development to implement safety infrastructures, and though it sounds extreme, there are a lot of smart people in the AI community who truly believe AI could end humanity. Their idea is that if there's any probability of AI ending humanity, we should probably regulate it strictly just in case. And that makes sense. So who's against SB 1047? If you're on X, it feels like everyone in Silicon Valley is against SB 1047. Venture capitalists, startup founders, AI researchers, and leaders of the open source AI community hate this bill. I generally categorize these folk as accels, or at least that's where they land on this issue. Many of them are in the business of AI, but some are researchers as well. The general sentiment is that SB 1047 could force AI model providers such as Meta and Mistral to scale back or completely stop their open source efforts. And this bill makes them responsible for bad actors that use their AI models, and these companies may not take on that responsibility due to the difficulties of putting restrictions on generative AI and the open nature of the products. It will completely kill, crush, and slow down the open source startup ecosystem, says Anjni Midha, A16Z general partner and Mistral board director, in an interview with Gizmodo. This bill, he says, is akin to trying to clamp down progress on the printing press, as opposed to focusing on whether it should be, which is the uses of printing press. I wouldn't say it has anything to do with printing press. This has to do with the extinction of humanity. That's my comment. But going back to this, open source is our best hope to stay ahead by bringing together transparent safety tests for emerging models, rather than letting a few powerful companies control AI in secrecy, said Ion Stoica, Berkeley professor of computer science and executive chairman of Databricks, in an interview. Midha and Stoica are not the only ones who view AI regulation as existentially for the industry. Open source AI has powered the most thriving Silicon Valley startup scenes in years. Opponents of SB 1047 say the bill will benefit big tech's closed-off incumbents instead of that thriving open ecosystem. I really see this as a way to bottleneck open source AI development as part of a broader strategy to slow down AI, said Jeremy Nixon, creator of the AGI House, which serves as a hub for Silicon Valley's open source AI hackathons. The bill stems from a community that's very interested in pausing AI in general. This sounds really technical. Can lawmakers get all this right? It absolutely is technical, and that's created some issues. SB 1047 only applies to large frontier models, but how big is large? The bill defines it as AI models trained on 10 to the 26 flops and costing more than $100 million to train, a specific and very large amount of computing power by today's standards. The problem is that AI is growing very fast, and the state-of-the-art models from 2023 look tiny compared to 2024 standards. Sticking a flag in the sand does not work well for a field moving this quickly. It's also not clear if it's even possible to fully prevent AI systems from misbehaving. The truth is, we don't know a lot about how LLMs work, and today's leading AI models from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google are jailbroken all the time. And that's why some researchers are saying regulators should focus on the bad actors, not the model providers. With AI, you need to regulate the use, cause, the action, and not the models themselves, said Ravid Schwartz, Ziv, an assistant professor studying AI at NYU alongside Yam Lekun, in an interview. The best researchers in the world can spend indefinite amounts of time on an AI model, and people are still able to jailbreak it. Another technical piece of this bill relates to open source AI models. If a startup takes Meta's Llama 3, one of the most popular open source AI models, and fine-tunes it to be something dangerous, is Meta still responsible for the AI model? For now, Meta's Llama does not meet the threshold for a covered model, but it likely will in the future. Under this bill, it seems that Meta certainly could be held responsible. There's a caveat that if a developer spends more than 25% of the cost to train Llama 3 on fine-tuning, that developer is now responsible. That said, opponents of the bill still find this unfair and not the right approach. Quick question: is AI actually free speech? Unclear. Many in the AI community see open source AI as sort of free speech. That's why Midha refers to it as a printing press. The premise is that the code underlying an AI model is a form of expression, and the model outputs are expressions as well. Code has historically fallen under the First Amendment in several instances. Three law professors argue in a Lawfare article that AI models are not exactly free speech. For one, they say the weights that make up an AI model are not written by humans, but created through vast machine learning operations. Humans can barely even read them. As for the outputs of frontier AI models, these systems are a little different from social media algorithms, which have been considered to fall under the First Amendment in the past. AI models don't exactly take a point of view, they say lots of things. For that reason, these law professors say SB 1047 may not impinge on the First Amendment. So what's next? The bill is racing towards a fast approaching August vote that would send a bill to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk. It's got to clear a few more key hurdles to get there, and even then Newsom may not sign it due to pressure from Silicon Valley. A big tech trade group just sent Newsom a letter telling him not to sign SB 1047. However, Newsom may want to set a precedent for the nation on AI. So if SB 1047 goes into effect, it could radically change the AI landscape in America. Correction, June 25th, the previous version of this article did not define what critical harms are. It also stated Metas Llama 3 could be affected, but the AI model is not large enough at this time. It likely will be affected in the future. Lastly, the Frontier Model Division was moved to California Governor Operations Agency, not the Department of Technology. That group has no enforcement power at this time. And this is on Gizmodo by Maxwell Zeff. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.